Hi Cancers! Thank you for coming and joining me for another video. This is going to be a general collective reading for all Cancer signs, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of April. Hopefully you guys have been having a fantastic long weekend. It's Easter long weekend as I'm filming this. I decided to switch up the camera angles a little bit just to give you guys a better view of the cards that pop out for your spread. I definitely think there's some value in being able to see how the cards lay out. So hopefully you guys enjoy this angle. All right, we have the Four of Cups in reverse. Let's keep going to see what shows up in your past. The top row is going to be your past energy. The middle row is your present. And the bottom row is your near future. Let's take a look to see what we have in store for you, Cancer signs, for the month of April. Show us what else we need to see for recent past. I've been enjoying shuffling my cards this way lately, just checking to see, what cards pop out on their own, what energies want to make themselves known. I don't know if I'm going to keep on doing things this way, but definitely for the month of April, I'm just going to experiment with what shows up on its own. Anything else we need to know for all Cancer signs, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of April? Show us everything else we need to see for the month of April. What's in store for the near future for Cancer signs, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of April? The really cool thing about April is that there are no planets in retrograde this month. Everything's in direct, so you might notice that things are happening pretty rapidly. Interesting. At the bottom of the deck, your near future, all your cards came out in reverse. Really interesting energy. All right. Cancer signs, in your recent past, I think some of you have had a difficult time walking away from something that caused you a lot of pain and heartache. I get the sense that you guys have been reliving things from your past in your recent past, if that makes sense. It's like maybe last month or the last few months, you've really been thinking about how you got to where you are today. All of the failed relationships, hurtful experiences, the painful times that led you to where you are today. And how many times you've had to walk away from something that maybe you found very difficult to walk away from. And with the Ten of Swords upright, it's almost as if the reminiscing of whatever didn't work out for you back then is causing you to still feel that pain and disappointment that's associated with whatever it is that you walked away from in your past. This was a failed relationship, could have been divorce for some, could have been a cheating situation, some sort of pain, heartache, betrayal. For others of you, this was some sort of loss. I think it was something that you didn't expect, something that you worked really hard to keep together, and it was really challenging for you to walk away from it in the past. It was a very painful situation, and I think although it happened a while ago, I think for some of you, you kind of just pushed it out of your memory and acted as though you were over it. And I think for some, you have been over it, but for whatever reason, it's kind of come back up again, and you've been thinking about all of that stuff. And it's like the thinking about things has reopened some wounds from your past. But I also get the sense here that you're not telling anybody about how you've been thinking about your past experiences. I think you're afraid to bring it up. If you're seeing somebody new, the things that you're thinking about that are painful have nothing to do with the new person you're seeing. And I think there's a little bit of fear associated with being honest about how you are thinking about the pain from someone else. So you're keeping this to yourself, not speaking about it, not bringing it up. Internally, you're keeping a lot of really heavy emotions inside, Cancers. In your current situation, we have here the Page of Swords, followed by the Ten of Pentacles. I think some of you are trying to figure out what steps you need to take in order to create the type of stability that you want in your future. I think a lot of you are thinking about family planning. You're thinking about next steps for your life. For some of you, you are studying maybe even real estate, maybe the real estate market. Maybe some of you are going to check out homes, properties. You might be in conversation with your current partner about moving. Maybe you're watching a lot of YouTube videos that have to do with redecorating, or you have downloaded those apps like realtor.com and you've just been like, casually scrolling through to see what's available out there, what the market looks like, how much condos, townhomes, detached houses are going for, and in what areas. With the Page of Swords upright, this is the studier, always searching for knowledge, trying to figure out how exactly you need to plan things out in order to create this future with your partner. It's like all these bright ideas that are coming to you as a result of maybe even like YouTube videos you've been watching, Instagram pages you've been following, talking to people who work with mortgages, loans, making friends with people at the bank, stuff like that. Like you're really in study mode right now, trying to figure out what it is you need to do to set yourself up in order to receive this more stable, fruitful future with the person who's currently in your life. I feel here that you have a lot of hope in this situation. It seems to be a lot more loving and stable and has more potential than what you have left. That being said, I still feel like whatever happened back here is still influencing the way that you're feeling about your current situation. Some of you are still holding back a little bit. As much as you can see a stable possibility here with your partner, at the same time, there's still a lot of fear associated with putting all of your eggs in one basket. There's a lot of fear in, if I expose all my feelings fully, if I start expressing myself, if I start being passionate and loving and giving, and if I give it all up, there's a possibility that I could get hurt. And after all that happened to me before, I don't want to risk that. I don't think I'm ready to risk that. For some of you, there may be some things that are still left in the balance with your partner, things that you're waiting for to come into full fruition. Maybe they're still cleaning some things up in their current lives, or maybe you are cleaning some things up and you're just not feeling totally safe to commit fully yet, even though you know that in your current situation there's a lot of potential. It's almost like you need to be doing all the research and figure everything out first with the Page of Swords before you are willing to step out of this protection mode that you're still kind of in order for you to open yourself up to this possibility of a brand new future with this person. In your near future, we have the Judgment card in reverse, the Strength card in reverse, the Ace of Wands in reverse, and the Tower in reverse. Some of you are avoiding a shakeup. You're avoiding maybe a hard conversation or a real conversation with your current partner about how it is that you are going to manifest this goal of yours. I don't even think it's just your goal. I think your partner actually wants the same things, but there's like an avoidance of really bringing it up so that the both of you can invest fully into one another. That's preventing you guys from being able to move to the next stage. There's fears associated with the things you actually have to do in your own separate lives in order for you two to come together with the Ten of Pentacles. It's like, are you ready? Are you ready for Judgment Day? Are you ready for things to possibly hit the fan? Like, it could be a dramatic situation, and I think you're afraid of it. You don't want to hurt people's feelings. They don't want to hurt people's feelings. Maybe you guys are afraid of judgment. This could be maybe a relationship where people didn't expect the two of you to get together, and so there's some fears in telling people that you're taking your relationship to the next stage. Maybe there could be other people involved that make it more complicated. Maybe there's kids involved as well. Some of you you're really afraid. And you don't want to be afraid. You don't want to be afraid. And I think that's why you're trying your hardest to be as prepared as possible with the Page of Swords and to have as much information as you possibly can, almost to justify what it is that you want to do and why you're taking these next stages, these next steps in your life. You're being called to channel your inner strength. Some of you might be dealing with a Leo sign. With the Ace of Wands in reverse, paired with the Tower in reverse, you're unable to have that passionate new beginning if you continue to avoid what might have to come tumbling down. Whatever's not built on a solid structure will have to come down. Now, that might not even have anything to do with your relationship with this person. It could be that old belief structures need to come crumbling down, negative self-talk, indulgent behaviors, overspending even. Like if you're trying to invest in a property, where are you putting your money? Have you invested it in the right areas? Do you have enough for a down payment? Are you having conversations with your partner about how you guys are going to afford this place together, if that's even what you're trying to do? Or is it that you're trying to move on your own and then eventually invite this person to come in? How are you going to have that conversation and bring it up? If you bring it up, who is going to be affected by this? Do they have kids? Do you have kids? Is this going to be a blended family? If it isn't going to be a blended family, are you two ready and on the same page in order to take your relationship to that next space? Even though you've had conversations about this, it's not about the conversations about it anymore. Now it's about the actions that are associated with bringing you two to this next chapter of your lives with one another. Like the time for talking is done. Now it's action. Are you guys prepared? And knowing that you have all of this information, all of this research under your belt about what you're trying to do now, is your partner on the same page as you while you've done all of this research to try to create a situation where both of you can be happy? I think there's a lot of people who have opinions about your relationship, and you're trying your best with the Seven of Wands in reverse to ignore the opinions and thoughts and the things that other people in your life are telling you about your situation. I think maybe you've had a hard time sharing with people that you've chosen this person and vice versa, maybe because there's a history that is related to the both of you. And so people's unsolicited opinions, you're really trying your best not to pay any mind to those things because you can't control other people's opinions anyway. But there's definitely a need for balance in this situation with the Justice card. It could be that someone is giving more than the other person. Could also be that you're being too patient while your person is trying to figure things out, or maybe they're being too patient with you as you continue to do your research. Whatever the case is, someone may be giving more than the other person is in this partnership. And with the Seven of Swords upright, what are you guys trying to get away with? Who's sneaking around? What hasn't been said straight up? I don't even feel like it's just like you sneaking around on your partner. I feel like maybe the two of you have these secret plans with one another about starting this new chapter of your lives, but nobody else in your lives knows about this, at least not to the extent that you guys have been planning. Like you guys are very serious about where you're trying to take your relationship. And even though people in your lives know that you're together, I almost feel like all of this planning, preparation, saving, looking at places, collecting of information, all of these things have been done kind of low key, um, because you guys are just not ready to really be open about it until justice and judgment is served. And I really feel like that just means unfinished business. I think there's unfinished business on your partner's side, unfinished business clearly on your side, your recent past. I mean, you're still thinking about some heartaches from before. So things from your past need to be resolved and let go of. Even if the person involved in your past is no longer in your life, there needs to be some sort of like cord cutting so you could separate yourself energetically from the thing that happened before. And your partner is probably going through the same thing as well. So this feels like a very transitional period of time for you, Cancer signs. I don't really sense anything terrible that's going to happen. I just think it's going to be a lot of research, a lot of learning. And I really feel that you and your partner have to come together and to make sure that you guys are on the same page in terms of what your expectations are for the next stage of your relationship. I really feel like you are ready to kind of put more of an investment into your future. And you got to make sure that your partner is on the same page with you. And if you guys are on the same page, then the next question is, what does the next page look like? And making sure that what your expectations are matches up with their expectations are, and that the two of you could come together for some sort of action plan so that you can move simultaneously in the same direction. All right, Cancer signs, thank you so much for joining me for this video. I hope this reading did resonate with all of you. If you haven't already, please make sure that you like this video, you click subscribe, and you also make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of when I drop a new video. Happy April. I wish you guys a fantastic Easter long weekend. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, make sure you do that to see daily card pulls, and I will check you all in my next video. Bye.